Oh, what's up, guys? J-Base Phoenix here. And we back. Just like I said we would be with some more writing stuff. To refer to the title, I just figured out what top referral means. I've seen it before and on my Twitch summary emails. But essentially, I looked it up. What it means is uh, the channel that most of my viewers were watching before they came over. So yesterday was Impact Wrestling. So some of you guys, at least one of you, watches wrestling Twitch streams. I'm not judging. It's just good to know something about the audience. Also, big shout outs to Maxu18, my guy, for the follow. We are 5 people away from the follower goal. 5 people. Before we were 30 people away, and now we are less than 10. We are 5 people away from the follower goal. Okay, before we get started today, we gotta do an obligatory buy the book thing. The book's out. Let's get let's get it. Kindle, $0. You ain't gotta pay nothing. You got Kindle Unlimited. Otherwise, the digital is 10 on Kindle. Paperback 20. Now paperback cheaper than most paperbacks gonna run you. Okay, had to be fair with the price I was asking for this book, so it sounds bad if I say doubled it. Uh, Paperbacks normally run you up $25, $30. Okay, I know. I just bought a paperback from somebody else. Just pay back $20. I'm saving you guys some money. All right. All right. If you like it, give it a review. I thought my author's copy. Yeet. What up, the homie Jay? Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you in chat, my dude. Um, I got a package today. I thought it was the book itself, but the book is supposed to come Friday. I bought another PS4 controller, but the controller said it was supposed to get here Friday, and I thought when the mail, I thought it was the book came early, and I was more excited about the book than the PS4 controller. But yeah, so I got a PS4 controller. I'm waiting for the book to get here though, so I could show the thickness off on stream. Can't wait to do that. Since it's getting here Friday, you probably won't see it the paperback till Saturday, and I'm gonna show you what your $20 got you, right? Oh god. All right. Let's get back to the stream, the actual stream now. So, I think I had a few notes written down while I was half asleep. So when I do some of my best writing when I am half asleep, I'm like, oh, this would be a good idea. And then I wake up and find out later it actually was a good idea, except I just don't know how to decipher it because I was half asleep and there's a bunch of typos. I try my best when I'm half asleep when in writing ideas to just wake up as much as I can in that moment and write down something comprehensively without typos. For my future self, so I understand later. And the key word is try in this situation, guys. It ain't always pretty. All right. So I got the idea. So we're gonna go to things to add on this document beat sheet. Okay, down here. Things to add. We're gonna add a fighting ring. Underground fighting ring. Omnispect sometimes shows his face here. Most of the other underground criminals under him show their faces here as well. Um, right, right. And I think this underground fighting is mostly going to pertain to Solace when he joins the story in chapter 7. They may have a plan. I may have them come up with a plan or something to get some more info on the Spectre or one of his henchmen or something like that when they get to the fighting ring. Because I just think that the concept of a underground fighting ring in this type of dystopia world would be really cool. And then describe each type of space vehicle was the next note I wrote down, the other note I wrote down. So I remember, I didn't write it down, but I distinctly remember um, we have hover cars and hover bikes in this world, right? I think we're gonna create a new document for this. We're gonna put it under characters because normally everything just goes under characters for whatever reason, even though it might not pertain to actual characters. Actually, most of this stuff does. No, no, most of this stuff does. Yeah. So this is gonna go under here anyway. Oh, well, yeah, that pertains to it too. Move this here so you guys can see it. So we're gonna rename this Space Vehicles. So we're gonna start off with hover bike. What else we got? We got hovercraft, hovercar, hovercraft. I think I kind of want to do this like travel. You'll see in a second. Travel. See what travel means. Um, interplanetary. Um, planetary. So the difference between oh god, I'm spelling it wrong. Planetary. The difference between interplanetary and planetary is interplanetary means they travel between planets. Planetary means they just travel around a single planet. So hover car can get you around a planet. Hover bike can get you around separate planets, which kind of doesn't make the most sense. But when you compare, um, actually, I think that'll be another category: characters that own. Like Carol, for example, he takes his hover bike and travels from planet to planet, doing all sorts of stuff like that. Capacity should be another thing. Capacity, characters that own. Should be characters who own, I believe. Character is not an object. So hovercar, hovercraft. Then we had like a vehicle, uh, hover carrier, I believe I called it in my sleep. Hover carrier capacity. I think I should keep a template actually at the top. Template, car name. Capacity. We are at capacity. Travel characters. These are just three things I'm thinking of currently, and I want to put these in underlined. The old-fashioned way. What I have to say, yeah, I ain't trying to stop. Travel, and then characters own. And we got to do the underline thing for the rest of them. Actually, we could probably just do this, and this will be faster. There's no underline here. Correct. Good. Just checking to make sure there's no underline in the template. Good. I ain't trying to stunt me. Most of your that and you know about it. No now. 1 to 4. So it's like a normal car except it hovers because cars. Hover bike, I'd say 1 to 2. This is just a template up here. We don't. Now hover carrier. I was thinking. So a hover carrier could be two things. It could be like a hover carrier, like a van, where you got two people up front and then a bunch of people in the back. Or it could be like a hover carrier, like an aircraft carrier, where there's hundreds of people on board. I think I want to do aircraft carrier for a hover carrier. So we're gonna make hover. God, this is the one thing I didn't write down. The other word I had for carrier that could have meant van. Um, van. I'm gonna just put hover van for now, and then we'll put the capacity stuff here. So 1, 2. So I gotta think of say 1 to let's say one. Say around 6 people in the back, so 1 to 8. 2 up front, so 1 to 8. I think we should also include 1 to 2 front, 1 to 2 back. 1 to 2. That looks like a score. I'm gonna just delete the spaces in between. That's kind of bothering me a little, just a little bit. So 1 to 2 front, 1 to 6 back. Okay, travel. Let's say the hover band is also interplanetary. Hover carrier will take you all across space because there's so much room on it. So 1 to probably around 200. I think. Well, do I want to say 300? Say 300. Travel intergalactic. Take you from galaxy to galaxy. Characters you own agree to. Well, because she just hover carriers are more for the special guard. So agreed to owning the special guard. She technically owns hovercraft carriers. Um, so let's just say her for now. There's probably somebody above White Wolf who is above Blackjack in the Space Marines that I haven't created yet, but we will soon. Hovercraft, hovercar, that should be travel. I said was planetary. Oh, let me put the definitions of each here. Planetary. Around the planet. Interplanetary. Several. Moons. Several planets. What was the next one? Next one was intergalactic, yes. And I'm not going to stay on this for very long. This is just a thing I wanted to develop a little further. I came up with this last night, like I said, when I was half asleep, and I was like, oh, this would be a good idea. Just to start specifying, because you're going to see a lot of, yeah, 45 indeed, welcome to the stream. We are 5 people away from becoming officially affiliated. That'll be a really good feeling once that gets here. Intergalactic moves around several galaxies. I think that's where I want that to end. Um, planetary, intergalactic. Oh, and let me do the travel for the hoverbike. Interplanetary. Characters that own a hovercraft. Bartender. Who else owns a hovercraft? I know somebody. We just recently did a story where they stole. Oh, we were planning one where they stole a hovercraft. Oh, a typical spaceship should be one of them. Of course, I forgot. I think spaceship should be under hover carrier. I mean, above hover carrier. Spaceship. Just your average spaceship. They can come vary in all different sizes and such, but very they can vary in all different sizes. Um, but they're normally intergalactic as well. Capacity, I'd say 1 to 200, let's say, depending on the size of the ship. Let's add that in parentheses. Characters who own Monolon, for example, is one. I feel like we should like bold these and underline and maybe do that. Maybe not underline. No, yep, underline. And all of it. We're gonna do all of it. So we know where the vehicles are, where the names of the vehicles are. This is to get a bit more, I guess, scientific in this whole sci-fi-esque world. I don't really like to label it as science fiction because I never explain any of the science whatsoever because I'm not a science dude. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, your protons, you got a few extra protons in your body, therefore you can fly and stuff. That's not what I do. Like my one of my screenwriting mentor, like the program director, I kind of like to call him my mentor. In college, he told me my book was more science fantasy because the science isn't explained. Uh, Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why science is still in there, but he called it science fantasy, and that's what I kind of like to describe it as because, like I said, the science isn't really explained. Um, People just kind of have these powers, and it's just like, hey, I can shoot energy beams. Well, what are your energy beams made of? Yo, Rock Evolution, what up, my guy? Welcome back to the stream. I hope you're staying healthy out there. Good to see you. Good to see you. We are just going over some vehicles. Like I realized that this whole universe, like depending on the series, is scientific at times. After your stream ended yesterday, chatted with a couple of other people and worked on my own story. Well, good stuff. Good on you, Brock. Bro, that's awesome. Let me hear about it. What you got so far? What you got so far? I like to hear about other people's premises for their stories and such. If you don't mind sharing, you don't have to share. I'm not gonna pressure you into sharing, but it's up to you. I like hearing about that type of stuff. Um, so characters who own. So we're just going a bit over like some of the technology, and I think I should just, man, I might just create a technology document where I just have a list of all the technological advances that certain planets and stuff have. Like for example, the oh gosh, the camp, the I need to go back to the Nebulon world building document. So I have it here. It might be in novels. Descended. Down. Oh, where is it? With other streamers. Okay. It's a lot to type out, but it's science fantasy. Cool, cool, cool. Sci-fi fantasy about a girl who gets drawn between a speedster and alien. Gets drawn between. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean by drawn? Curious. I'm curious. I should probably know. I don't know why I'm asking. I should. That one's on me. That one's on me. Shoot. Where? What the Nebulon world building? Where did I put that? That's not in characters, right? No, because its name changes. New, natural born. World building. Oh, the world building document. Duh. Okay, so I'm just gonna change the name of this to um, all technology. Just gonna keep it like that. Then we're gonna name the top of this page space vehicles. Then we're gonna put a break here. We're gonna start some of the Nebulon stuff down here. They have technological advances. Oh, we should also put a location, like where these vehicles can be found. Okay, she has to become bonded with the alien so that she doesn't have to go home, but the speedster and the alien are both in love with her. She has to choose between being loyal and following her heart. Not bad. I dig it. I dig it. Um, are there like any limitations to her speed? What's like the limit to how fast she can run? Sorry, I just like hearing about specifics as far as like superpowers go, because you've seen how specific my yeah, I don't know if you've seen this yet. My how specific my superpowers can get. All of this is dealing with, it gets nitty gritty here. This is, you see it's all everybody's superpower breakdown. But if you haven't even gotten that far, that's not even what your story is really about. You did just say it's about following the heart and or being loyal. Like that's it's a good start. It's a good start. I like it. I like it. Can't wait to see where you go with that, my friend. Want to see where you go with that. Okay. Key locations, artifacts. That's not really technology. Like technology should be accessible to mostly anybody. So we have the gods, artifacts, the key beings, key locations, environments, alien races, technology here. Okay. All technology. I think we created a thing here. Technological devices. She isn't a speedster. She actually has stats that allow her to use magic power. Okay. First one is given to her by the alien who has a connection to the staffs. Okay, due to him being imbued with special powers as he is the protector of his planet. Dope. So you got a whole like world to build. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see where you go with this. I also like hearing about world building and how others set up their world. Not for me to like, of course, it's not for me to like take. I just want to hear other perspectives on how others came up with like why their universe or worlds are set the way they are. And the speedster became a speedster when lightning bounced off the alien's techno organic spaceship and accidentally ran into the future and she was stuck there for 12 years. Then ran back when she was to when she was 18. They were kids when this happened, and she is now 19. Okay, so we got some time travel stuff here. That's what it sounds like. I'm not the greatest with time travel in the slightest, to be completely honest with you. Like all these time travel stories, like every movie and book has like its own, like everybody got separate rules. Like I don't get it. I have not understood a single aspect of any of these time travel rules, bro. Like even things like Endgame, where they're trying to like you're in there watching the movie, and you trying to focus on what they saying. They're like, yo, you can't go back with the same thing. It's gonna be a different timeline every time, and you gotta just put it back where it was. Like, bro, I don't. So let's hope. I think that's time travel. Um, Make sure you have like your own set of rules. It's my advice, not that you asked for it, but when own set of rules as far as time travel goes, so it's not like people will find like a bunch of plot holes or anything like that. Make sure you create a set of rules and then follow those rules. I can't say I'm the greatest with that as far as my stories, like as far as superpowers go, but actually I am pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at that. I'm drawing a lot from The Flash. In regards to time travel, I've been a Doctor Who fan since since 10. Is it that's season 10? I would assume. I hope that's season. I will. I haven't set specific physics rules for time travel or power set. Hey, no worries, bro. You just in the beginning stages. You in the beginning stages. Are you the one? Forgive me for not remembering, but you're the one that asked me if I watched The Flash, right? Was that somebody else? I think that was you. The 10th Doctor. Okay, so is each season a new Doctor? I've never watched Doctor Who, so I don't know. But if you're following something like that, always assume Doctor Who knew what it was doing as far as time travel went. So if you're following that, that's a good, learn from the best. Learn from the best. Best communicators, plasma cannons. Shit. Oh, that was another thing I was trying to do. Locations. Uh, where can this be found? Let's put S in parentheses. Um, it was probably me. No, the doctors usually last 2 to 4 seasons. Oh, okay, okay. He generates in a new form and he does. I did know that. Oddly enough, I did know that. I think when one of my college classes, we were learning a little bit about Doctor Who. But I did know that he regenerates like it's a different form, which is why they get a new actor every 2 to 4 seasons. I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I knew about that. I know about the little booth thing. I don't remember what the booth thing is called. The telly, the phone book booth. It's not what it's called. Uh, Dematerializer. How do I spell that? Materializer. There. Um, Camp compactor. Plasma cannons. Down there. Do, 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 do. It's called TARDIS. I said that. And uh time and relative dimension in space. Oh, it's an acronym. I said that. I said time and relative dimension in space. You didn't hear me? I must need a new mic. I'm using my laptop mic, but yeah, I said that. I completely knew what that stood for and that it was called that. I never said phone book or tele- telephone. Yeah, yeah, I knew that. What generally just called the TARDIS? Yeah, or yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I remember the name as soon as you typed it out. Um, I have seen that name before. I just didn't remember. I never remember what that darn time machine is called. That should be that's what it should be called. The darn time machine, not the TARDIS. The darn TARDIS. Darn tootin'. Darn. Should just be called the darn. Yeah. Guys, we gotta hurry back and go back in time through the darn what? No, the darn. I'm sorry. Locations. So dematerializer. Uh oh, that should be another thing I add. What this thing does. Actually, should there be different templates for each thing? That's what I'm thinking. Because capacity makes no sense for. Actually, it might. Capacity should be NA for certain things like plasma cannons. You can have capacity for that. Um. So what's the word? Use. Oh God, I'm blanking on the word. I can't think of the word. Oh yeah. Not definition. Like what is it used for? Oh God, guys, I'm blanking like crazy right now. I'm gonna just put used for right now. God, I don't feel so smart right now. I don't feel smart. Um, let's see if I can find it. Word for used for. God, I'm embarrassed. Used. No, that's not what I meant. What's another word for used for? Designed to belong. I don't want like. There's like a singular word that's used for this. Intention. Provision. Obtain. Anticipation. Achieve. Designed. No. Expectation. God, I can't think of the word. Jesus Christ. Nope. I feel like it starts with an I, like in something, like intention, kind of like that, but that's not. We'll put intention for now because it's better. That looks better than use for. But that's not. It's not what I was thinking of. God, dang it! I'm gonna have to correct these two because I just added intention and I don't want to restart the refill everything back. Location. Man, we spent half this time just setting this document up. I'm not going to insult the document. The document's treating me pretty well, actually. It's the first step in our relationship document. I feel like you really get me. Intention. Locations. And two more. Okay. I'm probably going to have to change intention. I might just control F it and replace when I figure out the word I was thinking of. And here. Okay. Location. All right. So, we have to copy this over. Didn't I just copy this? Why am I doing it again? Yeah, at least we didn't fill these out yet. Like I said, when I find out the word I was looking for, and it's gonna kick me in the butt when I do. Darn it! When I do find out what it was. don't want the underline to be there. So I'm very particular about how this stuff needs to be set up. I have so many documents that need to be either up to date or just trashed, and I don't want to trash some of the documents because I might go back to them one day and be like, I hoard digital documents, even though Google Drive gives me a lot of space. Like, let's see, yeah, I have several documents, all very long. Like, all of my books are on Drive right now, and this that's how much space has been taken up. True story. True story. Okay, intention. So we're gonna just copy these over. Actually, we can just do that. I'm not gonna type those out. Yeah, I don't need to watch me type those out. Plus, it's still all the same font. I just don't like changing the font. I don't know why. It feels like a lot of work to change a font and make sure everything's the right size. And God, yeah, yeah. And then function. Is that what the word I was looking for? Function? No, that doesn't feel right. So, we can actually, I think we can close this out. Alien races, technology, creatures. Yeah, we can close this out. Um, yeah, we're not even focusing on the story. I'm so sorry, guys. I just got going on this document. Um, I'm glad it's on the right side this time. You guys can actually see what I'm doing. I mean, I can't clearly see it on my thing because it's so small, but I've watched back some of my stuff. Like, you guys can, I think you guys can clearly see it on your devices, whatever you may be watching on. Um, hmm. So capacity NA. It's probably going to be more things I add down the line. Travel will also be NA. Locations where this can be found. Nebulon, Gondo. It's the battle planet. Those are just some things I'm thinking of. Travel, NA. Capacity, NA. Locations, Nebulon will be my first one for all of these because these all were devices I made for that God planet, because I wanted the planet to seem more advanced. Travel. Well, you can take the camp compactor anywhere, so technically anywhere. Take the plasma cannons anywhere too, but as far as it taking you somewhere, I guess that's technically NA. Dematerializer. No, this actually takes you anywhere. It's used to teleport an alien from one port to another dematerializer port. The Insight it used to that created it sold it to planets all over the Draconic galaxy, but the technology has yet to be invented where this can happen between full planets. Oh, so the travel is just Nebulon. I botched that. So technically speaking, actually it's planetary. Those are travel things I gave myself. The location. See, I'm trying to follow my own rules. Location Nebulon. Characters that own this. Nebula Dragons, Legionnaires. See, now full planet's not just one from one part of a planet to another part of the same planet. So yeah, for right now, the dematerializers are essentially, like I said, teleporters. They they're only on Nebulon right now. Capacity 1. Only one person going on a dematerializer at a time. Camp compactor capacity. Let's say 1 to tab there. 1 to I don't know. The camps don't get that big. So let's just say 1 to 50 for now. That sounds like a good number. Characters who own Legionnaires. They're like the army of Nebulon, the god planet people. Um, so they instead of living in buildings on that planet, the planet's technologically advanced and all that, they live in tents instead because they want to. So that's kind of that whole army's lifestyle. Plasma cannons, characters who own Nebula dragons. Uh, they act as a defense. Yeah. Oh, invade, protecting the planet from any invaders brave enough to invade. So Nebulon essentially for right now. And we'll get back to this later. I want to get back into the story. We went way off topic here. We spent 40 minutes on this. I didn't even realize it was that long. This document, but let's get back to planning some more ahead in the chapters some more. Yeah, how does that sound? That sounds chapterific. Uh, describe. I don't need that anymore. So we're gonna add the underground fighting ring probably to chapter 7. So I'm thinking when we're introduced to Solace, sorry, he's a prisoner, maybe that volunteered. So the special guard, no, the Galactic Guard should be the ones that bring him in, because they're like the cops, the space cops. He is brought in by them because he volunteered to start fighting this underground ring in order to. It wouldn't make sense if it was to shorten his sentence. That wouldn't make sense at all, actually. Why would the space cops condone that? We'll have to think about that. We're not even on chapter 7 yet. We got to focus on. Excuse me. We're in chapter 5. Blink would show up chilling in the rafters. Oh, right. Lincoln's team up special guard. Jack Force gives her energy clause. Special guard issued energy clause. Okay, so Grace joins the likes of them. So chapter 5 might just be really short because Grace is the last one introduced before we get to Solace, who's the actual last member, the sixth member of the team. There's only supposed to be 5. I couldn't help myself with adding Solace. Like, I just thought the concept of him was cool. So, energy clause. So the chapter ends with that. Grace joining the likes of them. So what should happen? Maybe the underground fighting ring is in chapter 6, and Exabyte or somebody finds out something about them. And this is how they might be introduced to Solace, because he's taken out of cups and just thrown in the ring, and he's just like, all right, puts his dukes up. He's ready to go. He's ready. Um, so I like the idea of them going to the underground fighting ring here in this chapter, and then being, oh god, maybe they all, because the original idea was I was going to have the original 5 be introduced in the first few chapters, which is what I've accomplished right now, but like spend a chapter or 2 in between before getting into, I guess, the wild card of the delinquents. But he's not even really a wild card. Like at this point, like to me, it doesn't feel like he's part of them just yet because I just created this character. So, but for story's sake, like he might just have to be there from the beginning. Like, yeah, I don't think I can wait till chapter 7 to introduce him. So this is writing by the seat of your pants, ladies. Well, not really, because we're not doing the actual writing. This is the beat sheet. So underground fighting ring. Introduction to Solace, the 6th member. I'm gonna put a note for myself. The final member. No more adding members to the core team here. The final member. of the disturbed delinquents who I don't have his backstory entirely straight just yet. I know I wanted him to be a prisoner. Was a prisoner that was tossed into this underground fighting ring. After let's say by the corrupt cops. By corrupt cops, corrupt guards that promised his sentence would be shortened by doing so. So how are the six? Maybe he should be like kicking all the asses of everybody in the ring and become the new champions. The delinquents are like, yo, who is this guy? Shouldn't like he be taking dives and stuff? Like, does he not know about that? Um, Maybe they should go to the underground ring before and then see this guy the second time they come. Because it might be a little too convenient for them to meet their final member right here, right now. So I'm trying to think whether it should be in this chapter and then Saul should be in chapter 7, or if um, in one of the origin chapters, not really origin, but introduction chapters, um, they should go to the underground fighting there at some point. I'm trying to think of a chapter that has room for that. Um, Clad. Maybe chapter 5. Maybe chapter 5. I'm thinking, first of all, it has the least amount of bullet points, like number wise speaking, even though the paragraphs be thick. Um, kind of like that idea. I kind of like that. Um, Closer. There we go. So I can sit back. I'm always sitting forward like this. All right. So Clad heard about an underground fighting ring that Omnispect. No, that Kokaida is known to visit with her um, underground. I didn't even think because I was still crafting the villain Vermilion, Millie for short. Um, what her backstory would be, and I like the idea that Vermilion should be an underground because there's two types of villains in this world besides Omnispect, who's above all of them. You got the CEOs who are normally just corporate villains, and the underground villains who are known for like the drug trafficking and all of that. Um, I think Vermilion should be an underground criminal, and Kokide and her are dating or together, and this is like one of the ways Kokide gets to be with her without having to, I guess, sneak off. They're kind of just in disguise, I guess, in the club. So she's an underground crime lord villain. Uh, in a relationship with Kaida. I don't have any powers for her yet, but I think she's gonna be neutral evil. Kokaida made lawful evil, I believe. Where's Kokaida? Yeah, she's lawful evil. Um, I'm thinking probably fire powers, but I really don't want to go that route. I have to add something, a twist to her fire powers if I give her that, because I have a lot of fire-based characters, fire power-based characters. So, her race is going to be stellar. Um, that Kokaida is known to visit. Heard about an underground fire that Kokaida is known to visit to see Vermilion, Crime Lord. Zero, I've got to know who's in the group at this point, which is why I'm naming them. Zero, Exibite, Zashi, and Clad go to the ring to see if they can find. Oh, Underground Crime Lord, Clad believes they can get to Kokaida. They can get to Omnispect. That's another thing I'm liking about this story so far. There's a bit of strategy involved, like and planning, a bit of it. In Descended, there's not much of that. People are kind of just not really headstrong, but sometimes people don't think things out. Sometimes it just ends in fighting, and it's not always like that, of course, depending on who the character is. But if you don't mind my asking, how old are you? I am 22. I will be 23 in September. I just graduated college last year with a degree in screenwriting. Yeah. Um, Zero, and I got my first book out. 22 with my first book out. That feels pretty good. That feels like an accomplishment. See if they can find her. Um, when they leave, I'm just gonna add this note here. When they leave, the crowd is introduced to a new fighter, and Zashi turns her back to see the fighter, to catch a glimpse of the fighter before before they leave the ring. Oh, I'm 17. Okay, yeah, that's cool. You got a lot of writing. If you're passionate about it, you got a lot of writing in your future, my friend. Lots of writing to go. If you're passionate about it, I love writing because to me it doesn't feel like work. I don't like working. I don't know anybody that does. Like like working, like having to work for a living. Um, Writing is not, it's not even a hobby at this point anymore. I wrote my first book, so I wouldn't call it a hobby, but it is, it's a passion of mine. I'm glad I found it because being able to I've said before, being able to create complete worlds and people, fictional people based on just words in general, like is something that's just really cool to me. So um, yeah. When they leave, the crowd is introduced to a new fighter, Solace, for leaving the ring. That was just a quick note to add. I didn't want to forget that. Right, and Clad go to the ring and see if they can find her. They don't, but do find another crime lord by the name of Suck. That's not his actual name. I still haven't given him an actual name, but I think I want the Suck Man to be introduced Wish Joe was here. Suck man to be introduced at this point in the story. He's another like non-main important character, just like Clutter. But I just like having villains spread out because, like I said, this is a villain-ridden planet, pretty much. Just a bad planet. You got to have a lot of villain characters. So we have how many do we have? We have Suckman. We have Wear Down the Fence guy. I still haven't named. Um, Clutter, Vermilion, Mend. Those are henchmen though. Kakita, Omnispec. We need a lot more. We got to get a lot more going. Um, you find by the name of Suckman. Uh, Exabyte places a tracker on him. No, I don't want that. She doesn't even have trackers. There has to be something they find here tonight that gets them to come back the next night and be introduced to Solace in chapter 6. No, I got it. Okay, this is what I was supposed to do. Should the sun? No, the sun guy shouldn't be introduced here. Of drug lord man, because I forgot Grace is supposed to be introduced in this chapter. So um, you know, find another. So we got to create another villain character by the name of with weird powers. Uh, drug lord man. Uh, and I think Exabyte. Let's have Exabyte over here's. Wait, who is does? I don't think I gave Clad superhearing. Did I? Clad has superhearing, then he hears it. Senses, reflexes, senses. So he does have superhearing. So Clad does over here. Clad overhears that they have a deal going down. The delinquents follow drug lord man, and we'll probably create him next time, or we can start creating him now. Out the ring to the where are they gonna fight? I had a garage fight for drug people in Arid's origin, not origin, Arid's short story. I don't want another garage here or docks. It was like garage docks. What is your book called? And is it self-published or published by an actual publisher? The book is called The Sundered Awakening. Here, um, self-published for right now. I'm looking for literary agents currently. I'm setting multiple query letters out a day to see if I can get anybody to get me in with a publisher because I think through publishers they help with marketing and all of that. Self-published is really difficult, but I wanted to at least get the book out and get people reading it. Um, so right now it's self-published. Hopefully I get it through a publisher. Um, Also, I'm more interested in acting, but writing's definitely a hobby. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Acting. I have a friend that's into acting. Acting's cool. For me, it's the opposite. I'm more passionate about writing, but acting is would be a hobby of mine. I'm not one to go out for auditions or anything like that, but if an opportunity were to come, I wouldn't shoot it down unless it was degrading in any way. Yeah, that's kind of like a line I don't want crossed. Yeah. Um, But yeah, I had like two acting classes in college, and I loved them. They were two of my favorite classes. I was always nervous to go there, but I always knew I killed it. I always knew I killed it. I always killed it. And I'm told I'm good at acting by several people that aren't family members. So I don't know. I want to start my career with writing first. Acting is probably down the pipeline for me, but I like writing for right now, and not screenplays or anything like that. Like if I were to collaborate with screenplay, like I feel like I'd like that more than just sitting like kind of how I am now and writing a screenplay. I like having input and back and forth with others. Um, But yeah, I feel like that could be down the pipeline for me. Um, Never actually written anything that I publicly shared anyways. I focus more on world building and getting stuck there. I'm trying to see if I can have it give you any advice as far as world building goes. I don't know. What's different with me is I normally start with characters before I start with world building or a premise. I might start with the premise before I get into the world or characters. Like characters are my favorite part about creating a new series or story. Um, and they all have to have some sort of supernatural ability. Like I don't like writing human stories whatsoever. Like my friend asked me if I wanted to write dramas at any point. Like I could. Like I know I'm very capable of it, but do I want to? I'd rather write outlandish stories like this. That aren't family members. Yeah, yeah. Um, my family always tells me that they would state otherwise if I wasn't good at something. Like they always specify, well, not specify, but they always like nail it to tell me over and over. I was blanking on the word. Tell me over and over that I'm good at both writing and acting. Um, but to hear it from other people that aren't your family, because of course, you immediately think, oh, they're my family. They're supposed to say that, but they always tell me, no, like, yes, we are your family, but we would be honest with you if we didn't think it was really the greatest thing for you to for you to do. You know, be like, oh, you like acting, but have you tried painting? Like they do something like that. They always tell me that. But to hear it from other people that aren't your family, like my when I took a directing class in college, should be believes directing class in college, we were acting out certain scenes, and the professor of that class was like, "Dude, you should get in." Well, she was an older white lady, but I'm just paraphrasing here. Dude, you should get into like acting. Like you're really good at this. I was like, oh, I've never heard it from anybody with like that wasn't family. Well, I have, but she was like another person that was it was kind of important to hear from. So, oh yeah, I generally do characters first. I meant, yeah, yeah, characters are like the most important part for me. Um, to get stuck at world building, like let your characters. If you do characters first, you should know your characters in and out. So what I do, um, is something like this. I'm gonna full screen it. So you got it in the stream in a minute, but I want to help you. Um, I do something like this. So this is like a kind of basic character breakdown. There I have another thing where it's way more in depth if you want to know literally everything about your character. So let me pull up that. I learned this in one of my classes. It was like screenplay story development or something. So I think you should have character biographies. So why I'm telling you to do something as in depth for this as your characters is I think your characters should drive your story. I've had times where I was like, this is supposed to happen at this point in the story, but I had to change it because I felt in that moment that's not something one of my like not a decision my character would make, and it changed the story slightly because of that. So here's an example of what a full character biography would look like. Like this document is 66 pages long. I have only a few characters that I have full biographies on. Like you see all of these here, those are not done. Like I don't know all of my 200 plus characters inside out just yet, but if you do something like this for every character that you have, I feel like that will help you world build a little bit more and develop your story a little bit more. Because if it's about your characters should be driving the plot. Um, I think. I think that's what I've been taught both things. Like plot should drive character, character should drive plot, whatever. Um, Depends on the story you're writing, I think. But first, you go through everything physical about them, their real name, if they have any aliases, age, sex, meaning male or female, or whatever else they might be, height, weight. Uh, for me, I because all of my stories are kind of supernatural or sci-fi. I have ethnicity as far as like their nationality goes, if they're from Earth, their alien race, or the type if they're not either an alien or from Earth, like an angel of some sort, or a machine. Eyes, hair, personality, physical description, physical condition, meaning like what kind of shape they're in. Um, can you share these templates with me, please? I whispered you my email after you finish your stream, though. Oh, of course. I'll check my whispers after stream. But yes, I can copy this over to a document and share this with you. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. And then psychology. Um, you got your family history, what they were um, like what, how many members of their immediate family they have, or if you want to go into extended family, that too. And what their relationships are with certain characters. And I'll give you one character example. I know we do have to end the stream, but like I said, I want to help you. Um, Life prior. This is normally where I put like their bio or their origin story here. Religious upbringing, if they have any sort of religious upbringing like Christianity or Catholicism. Social status, as far as like their wealth goes, like middle class or upper middle class, lower class. Home, like where they grew up, essentially. Successes, like some major successes they think they've had, some major failures they think they've had in their life, up until this point in the story that you're writing, of course. Their thoughts on both, secret wish they had, their attitude towards money, intelligence level, their literal job, or it could, yeah, relationships, any relationships they've had already or want to have. That could also be their attitude towards sex. I don't know why they gave me that, but I guess that was important. That was one of the things they gave me, because they were more towards like human characters. Biggest secret. What's their biggest secret that they don't want to tell anybody, or they maybe have told somebody? Um, Skill slash talent. Something I guess special about them. Um, for me, I added this one, method of acquired superpowers, because, like I said, this is more for my supernatural stuff. And their attitude towards their superpowers, they think of it as a curse or a gift. And drugs, do they take any sorts of drugs, whether that be illegal or medicinal, or if drugs don't affect them at all, like if their superpowers make them not affected by drugs. I want to do an interesting character. Thank you for all of this information. Very helpful. No problem, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help others, and I'm here to tell others about the stuff. I want to do. Let me ask you: do you want a human character, or you want an alien character? Let me know, because I have lots of both. Maybe human. Well, you do have an alien character in your story. I don't know. I have a demon character here. His backstory is pretty long though. See, for example, one of my this demon character, drugs don't affect them. So, um, yeah. I'm trying to think what might be the best character. Because I don't. What's weird is, well, not really weird, because I really just don't like fictional humans like Batman. I don't like Batman. I prefer to do these full bios on non-human characters, because it's just so much more interesting to me. Plus, it helps me expand my world um, a lot. So, let's just do one of them at the top. Let's do Vital or somebody. Or yeah, let's do Vital. All right. So Vital here is real name Christopher Lin, age 19, male, 5'10", 166 pounds, Chinese American, green eyes, white hair, introverted as far as personality goes, introverted, cunning, calculating. Physical description I didn't add here. He's very fit and in shape because he takes like karate classes, or he used to, and works out with that. Family history. He had both parents were happily married, an older sister and younger sister. They were both eventually killed. Well, that's not true. God. That's not a good character to do, darn it. I don't think I've updated this document in a while, but actually, I think I'll just have you ask me questions if you have any, either in the whisper or just next time on stream, which will be tomorrow, because this has to be updated. I've probably changed a lot about some of these stories, and I don't want to give you wrong information about a character you might read about in the future. So, where did I? Oh God, wait. All right. So we're gonna end the stream, guys. We're a few minutes over, but thank you guys. We did. I think we did a little bit. Yeah, we did a little bit. Followed into the. We need a location for the drug deal next time. Write that out. So I don't forget what was supposed to go there. But we did a little bit more planning. We developed this all technologies document today, so we know a little bit more about the science part of the. Well, not yeah, science part of the. Is that my phone? Science part of the this whole universe. So we're gonna end the stream, y'all. Rock, I will get back to you with the document in a sec. And thank you guys so much for watching. I stream every day from I forgot 8 to 9 p.m. except Fridays. Fridays are my day off, my family and all that. Once again, shout outs to Max218 for the follow today. Appreciate you. We are 5 people away from becoming officially Twitch affiliated. So that'll be really really cool when we get there. And yeah, guys, we're in the stream. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and buy the book's out. I'm waiting for my physical copy to show on stream, but book's out. Book's out, guys. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. This is JB Speaks once again. Signing off.